Everybody, welcome back to Gameweek FC. My name's Travis. We had a crazy weekend in the Premier League this past week, and my FPL team did okay. My differential squad went off. Unfortunately, I cannot show you my differential squad on here. This is my actual team that I had. We had 48 points, but if you go look at my reels on YouTube, you can see my differential squad. My differential squad had about 94 points, I think, estimated, close to somewhere around there. They went off. One of the guys in my differential squad was Daniel Munoz, and I was this close. I considered it for a second to triple captain Daniel Munoz this weekend. Would have been insane. He would have had a ton of points. I'm not going to calculate it. But yeah, my team did okay. I made smart decisions. I didn't start any Tottenham players, so that was good. Krupi Jr. should have had a goal against West Ham. But for the most part, pretty solid week. Let's see who had the highest point total, 134. I mean, that is, yeah, if you had Eze this weekend, you had a good week. This guy bench boosted as well. Goodness gracious. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Just imagine if he actually had a good striker that scored. Yeah, that's an impressive team. We hope squad. Well done. Team of the week, of course, player of the week, Eze, just incredible hat trick. Yeah, look at that. Are Nottingham Forest back defensively? Should we start loading up on Nottingham Forest players? I don't know, but that looks like a pretty darn good squad to me. 153 points, not too shabby. All right, let's move on to our differential squad for the week 13. Starting off with our goalkeepers, we're going to start off with Kel Heller, only owned by 7.8%. That's pretty low for a keeper. Of course, he's playing against Burnley, who, as I expected last weekend to lose to Chelsea, but it's either them or Wolves. I don't know which team is the worst. Burnley did beat Wolves, so you can say that Wolves are probably the worst team in the league. But the statistics say that Burnley are pretty much the worst team in the league at the moment. And they're playing a Brentford team that are just absolutely performing spectacularly right now and honestly overperforming compared to people's expectations of them this season. And honestly, me included, I said at the beginning of the season, I was like, yeah, I think Brentford's going to get relegated. That's on me. But they are performing really well right now, playing at home against Burnley. I do think Burnley gets a goal in this game, but I'm going to pick at least one Brentford goalie defender in here just in case they do get the clean sheet. So I picked Kel Heller for that. Moving on to Dean Henderson, 8% owned. An interesting fact about this game against Man United, the past 5 times they've played, a team has gotten a clean sheet in the game. And past few times it was at Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace got the clean sheet. So just in case that trend is true again, I actually think that both teams score in the game. But in case that trend is true, I am going to include Henderson in here because it's not like Man United are coming off an encouraging performance against Everton. But they will be eager to get on the score sheet this time. But I'm going to take the risk because I think Crystal Palace is just a little bit better coach team, I think. Just a little bit more well-rounded, and they understand who they are. Moving on to defenders, we got Michael Keane. Michael Keane is coming off 2 tremendous games. He has been racking up 90 minutes this season, and they're playing a Newcastle team, which coming off a midweek loss against Marseille in the Champions League, and I kind of like him to at least get defensive contribution points. I think this is going to be a bit of a low-scoring game, perhaps. I just think Newcastle fatigue could come into play in this game. So I'm going to hope that the game ends 0-0 and that Michael Keane has defensive contribution points. Moving on to another Crystal Palace player, defender. Once again, overlooked, 4.7% owned compared to Mark Gahey, who's owned by at least, I think, 25% of people. This guy is getting contribution points. Somehow he got an assist against Wolves last week. I don't know how that happened. But he's been really, really, really consistent for the most part. And I think he will get contribution points against Man United because Man United are a very good attacking team. So contribution points, potential clean sheet. We're going with Crystal Palace this weekend. Next up is a guy that many people are still not aware of, Nicolo Savona. He's playing right back for Nottingham Forest right now. He had a goal against Liverpool. As you can see, he wasn't playing. I think they signed him, and he wasn't really playing for Ainge that much, I don't think. But he's look at that, 2 goals in the last 3 games. He is proving himself as the starting right back for Nottingham Forest, and he's only owned by 0.1%. So I'm going to take a risk on him this weekend, although I do think there's going to be goals in this game. I don't think Forest are going to get the clean sheet, but I like him at 0.1% owned. I think you have to take that. Next up, we got Anderson. Fulham are on... they're playing better. I still don't trust their goal-scoring ability, but I don't really trust Spurs' goal-scoring ability either. And Spurs they're coming off a tough loss against Arsenal, and then they have to play PSG in the Champions League today, actually. And if you could see here, I'm kind of picking guys for the most part that aren't playing midweek matches. That's was kind of how I was looking at this week, because I do think it's a tricky week to pick players and to make predictions. But I like Anderson. I'm very confident in him getting contribution points this game because Tottenham are going to be hungry to get on the score sheet. But I don't trust Tottenham at the moment, if I'm being honest. I think Fulham are in decent enough form to put up a fight in this game. Next up, we got Ruben Diaz. He did not start in the Champions League game this past week, or this week, yesterday. So I do think he starts against Leeds United. And this is, once again, a potential clean sheet. He's in good form. I do think City get the clean sheet against Leeds United. So that'll be points for him. Next up, we got Ryan Sessegnon. This one's a bit of a surprising pick to most. 0.8% owned. He is honestly playing really well at the moment. He's had a few goals, a few assists. The reason I picked this is because Sessegnon used to be a Tottenham player for years. I think he spent 4 or 5 years at Tottenham, and now he's at Fulham. I doubt there's bad blood between them, but there could be. Sessegnon didn't really play that much for them. So I think this could be a bit of like prove myself moment for Sessignon. So I kind of like him against this Tottenham team that could be susceptible to counterattacks and who don't perform very well at home. I'm going to talk more about this in our best bets video tomorrow, but this is interesting. So Tottenham are 1-9. They've only gotten one win this season at home. But Fulham have only gotten one win in their last 9 matches in away matches. So we got a really bad team that plays at home, a team that plays really poorly at home, and then a team that plays pretty poorly away. So I think this game's going to be a draw personally, but I don't know. I like Fulham's chances because Tottenham, coming off a game against PSG, coming against a game against Arsenal, I don't know. They could be a little bit fatigued. Next up, we got a guy that's absolutely on fire right now, Harvey Barnes. A goal against Brentford, a goal against City, 2 goals against City. And then he just scored in the Champions League game yesterday. So I'm kind of going to try to ride that form and get lucky. I honestly don't think he scores again against Everton. I'm kind of just taking a shot in the dark here. But I could see him getting an assist for sure. Because I do think he'll probably start after what he's been doing lately. I'm not completely sold on Everton either. Moving on to this guy, Matt. I honestly don't know how to say his last name. Vifer, 0.4% owned. This guy's underlying XG has been pretty good lately. He's been getting good points, assists. And the reason I'm picking him against Forest are playing really well, don't get me wrong. However, Forest have a midweek game. They play on Thursday. And I think this is a bit of a prove-it game for Brighton. Because last time, I don't know if you remember, last time they played at Forest last season, they lost 7-0. That's mind-boggling. They lost 7-0 to Nottingham Forest last season. And I actually think they come into this game hungry. I think they might win this game, honestly. I think there will be goals. And I think Vifer or Danny Welbeck, I think they're both capable of being involved in goal scoring chances. So that's why I picked them. Next up, we got Morgan Rogers. This guy, kudos to the people that kept their faith in Aston Villa after the tough start they had. Morgan Rogers, fantastic performance against, who do they play? Against Leeds. I'm picking him based off his form and playing against a Wolves team that are just shambolic, to be honest, who haven't won a game yet this season. So I feel like that pick speaks for itself. Next up, we got Yeremy Pino. This guy got his first goal for Crystal Palace this past weekend against Wolves. Why not pick him again and hope for the best? Maybe he gets his second goal. I like Crystal Palace's odds in that game. This guy, I don't think he's a secret. He's not a secret anymore. I picked him as a differential last weekend, and actually I've picked him several times as a differential, and he has come through. He is the second leading goal scorer in the Premier League. Okay, you can't hide that fact. And he's playing against Burnley, who have the worst XGA. It could be Wolves now after this past weekend, but worst XGA. I think you have to pick him as a differential this weekend. But his odds he was only like 9% owned, I'm pretty sure, last weekend. Now he's close to 17%. So Welbeck, same reason as Vifer, goal scoring chances. Just because Sean Dyche is the manager does not mean that Forest are playing defensively. They're still attacking. There have been goals from Forest games lately. So I actually like Brighton's chances in this game, and these two guys will most likely be involved. Lastly, we have a debatable player here, Ollie Watkins. He has not been performing up to expectations this season. He has 1 goal in 12 matches, and he has been getting good minutes. So I just think if you're gonna score, if you're finally gonna score a second goal of the season, why not against Wolves? Okay, this guy's been so disappointing, but I think he can get a goal against Wolves, and I just think the value's there. I'm buying low on Ollie Watkins, 6.6% owned. If it's not Morgan Rogers again, then it could very well be Ollie Watkins. Okay, so I'm taking the risk on him. Honestly, I should have put an Aston Villa defender in here because I do think Villa get the clean sheet against Wolves, but I like my defenders for now. But that's all I have for you guys. That is my differential squad. Hopefully we can cook as well as we did last weekend. That 90-pointer was insane. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoy the video. Always try to provide value for you guys, and hope this helps your FPL team. So thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that jazz, and I shall see you guys next video. Adios.